All right. Good evening, everybody. Happy Friday, and welcome to another exciting race for Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide in our Warring Triads event. Tonight, we have for you two members from the Onslaught group. We have Skarcerer representing Team GrandTrain, and FlyEaglesFly72 representing Team Ultima, going head-to-head in a Poltergeist Fury flag. My name is Gar. I am joined in the booth today by the Schwantz27. Schwantz, how's it going?
Yo, what up, Gar? This is going to be an awesome match. This is for first place of the Onslaught group through week 4. You could see from the standings here, not very much separates these two teams. In fact, 1 minute and 2 seconds of average time separates them from week 3. But taking a quick look at how their teammates fared up so far in week 4, they actually have now about a 5-minute difference between the two of them, with each team taking one game. So Jesus the Frog took it on home for Ultima, and Gar, that's you, took it on home for GrandTrain. So obviously we know who you are rooting for tonight. Try and keep it not too biased. I will play the Jesse Ventura to your Gorilla Monsoon, if you will, here. But you did mention we were doing Poltergeist Fury flag set, so let's talk about that a little bit here. We'll flash that up on the screen. Tell me, what are we looking forward to here?
Okay, so big thing with Poltergeist Fury is the addition of the Y remove flag. And what that allows you to do is remove certain NPCs and potentially gain access to some areas that you might not otherwise have access to. So for example, you can get access to the World of Ruin Narsh weapons shop despite not having lock. You just Y remove that door and you go talk to the guy, and he can give you either an Esper or an item or 2 items or whatever the case may be. And there's a couple of other places in the game where that might be useful. Here we start with 3 characters. We're looking for a total of 7 characters and 9 Espers in order to unlock Final Kefka. We also have a skip. The skip for this particular seed is going to be 9 characters, 13 Espers, and 24 checks. So initially seems like the skip may not be in play, but we'll have to take a look and see how the seed plays out.
Yeah, it rolled a little high for both checks and for Espers, but 9 characters might be doable depending upon which characters we get at the start. If it's a sort of a linear seed, then maybe it might be easier to get those characters versus if it's a more deep or wide, rather, seed. So
yeah, and we'll just have to see how everything plays out. Hopefully we're not going to get like the fabled mug start, Ma, Gumaro, and Gogo.
delicious.
But hey, anything can happen, right? So one of the things, too, that the Poltergeist Fury flag set is centered around are getting high-tier relics as your item rewards. You can see there that you can get flame shields, but that's really like your only non-relic option. Those and mega elixirs. Everything else, you've got offerings on the table. You've got everyone's favorite, the EXP egg that's waiting for you. Just lots and lots of goodies there. The economizer is very interesting in particular because our runners always have access to the curse shield. Now, it does require between 11 and 20 battles to decurse, but Ultima is potentially strong enough to make it worth it. And off our runners go, I see a Celeste, Sabin, and Locke. What a fantastic start. Very, very open-ended. Slot, X Magic, and Runic, not the most powerful abilities, but Celeste and Locke definitely have a wonderful equip pool. So we're going to be looking for, hopefully, some high-tier weapons to get this started off.
Yeah, interesting that both of our runners decided to go to the world of balance, Narsh, when we can go get the potential item reward in the world of ruin, Narsh, with the weapon shop. Even if we didn't have lock, we could still use YNPC remove, as you mentioned earlier, Gar. Slots is a decent starting command. It's good for clearing out lots of enemy mobs, and with these 3 characters, we have a couple of interesting choices for first checks besides those free ones, right? We have Imperial Camp, where there's 4 forced encounters. Then there's also the Opera House Disruption, where there's up to 5 rats in the rafters that you got to go stomp on before you fight a boss. So we'll see if our runners decide to go to one of those 2 checks, while also trying to uncurse that shield as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to see what that number is. I know that personally, I have kind of taken to just not checking the shield, and I feel like that might be a mistake. Who knows how many 11s I've passed up, you know?
Did you say steak?
Gotta love steak.
No, it was mistake. Aura Lance
I missed the
and
steak.
Fire Rod. Okay. Some
Yeah,
rods
so
in the
not
shop
bad.
early. Very nice.
The Aura Lance is very interesting because you can get that Dragoon set for doing a Coliseum match. So, unfortunately, nobody in the party can equip the Aura Spear like as a vanilla equip. There is a 33% chance that one of them will be able to equip it, or that multiple people will be able to equip it. So I think that's going to be the hope for our racers here.
Yeah, that's interesting that you mentioned the Coliseum. We don't really have a great Coliseum answer at the moment because we don't really have one of those big weapons or anything like that, but we'll see what our runners loot. The first, 10 minutes of a Worlds Collide seed is usually looting and seeing what the heck you got going on here. There's some Dragoon boots that we had just mentioned, so it's Fire Rods and Ice Rods there in the shop. I didn't see the Ice Rods the first time along, but maybe we go back there a little bit later after we collect some cash out of some of these chests here.
Yeah, so finding the rods there, very nice for opening up a seed early. The unfortunate thing is that we do have an expensive rod flag, which is enabled for all 3 of our Warring Triad flag sets. So all the rods are going to cost around 12k or so, which it's not a bad price, but it's also not one that you can exactly rely on. Unlike in the vanilla game, where they cost 20 bucks.
Yeah, so question from the chat, Cyclore, couldn't the runners also find a merit award to equip the spear? Yes, so you can use a merit award to equip what is called quote-unquote heavy items, and I'm pretty sure spears fall into that category. The problem is you then cannot use the relic slot for both boots and horn to allow you to jump multiple times in one go. So that's sort of the trade-off there is that build then worth it if you use the merit award and the boots and not the horn? So that's something the runners will have to consider if they want to decide to go that route.
Yeah. Now, it might be interesting if we find, say, a character that has natural jump, but who cannot otherwise equip that spear. So we might see, like, merit, like if it's possible, you see the merit award Dragonhorn thing happening, but still way too early in the seed to tell, and I don't think either of our runners have checked to see if anybody can equip that. I don't think either of them purchased one yet, so still on the table.
All right, so there is a free check here where Skarcerer is down in the basement of South Figaro here. That's one of Celeste's checks. We'll see if they decide to take that reward or not. The scaling in all Warring Triads flags is the enemy level HP and MP is equal to the number of checks that you've done times 2.5. So with every check you take, there's some sort of police song in here somewhere, right? But
yeah, we'll find it.
There's an offering, though, so one of those high relics that you mentioned earlier. That'll be nice if we find a weapon that will pair nicely with the offering. But now, Skarcerer has just increased the levels of his bosses just a little bit. Although one check, the difference between 1 check and 0 checks is actually nil, right? Because 0 times something is just 0, and then 1 times something is that something. So either way, it's all the same because there's a minimum amount of levels, and the minimum is 3. So.
Yep, absolutely. So a couple of interesting finds down here for Skarcerer. Found a Rage Ring, which absorbs fire, nullifies lightning. So if you're looking for some early elemental defense, alternatively, if you find the Yeti, then you've got some protection going on there. So not a terrible find, I don't think.
Yeah, I really
Offering
like the Rage Ring. It also gives you +5 strength too, if you need it. So it's a little bit of a stat boost. Not a whole lot of viability there for the stat bonus, but definitely for that elemental protection that you mentioned.
Yeah, I think eventually our runners are going to want to pivot off of that if indeed any of them can equip it. But for now, Skarcerer is going to head to World of Ruin, South Figaro. Going to take a look at the uh, pots and shops here. Hopefully he finds something good. And hey, how about a Thunder Shield? That's pretty good.
Yeah, so we talked about the settings for Poltergeist's Fury, and unfortunately, that Thunder Shield will not teach us any Bolt 2, because we don't learn any Bolt or Ice Magic in this flag set, Fire Magic only. However, that is still nice to have because of Elemental Protection, and in a pinch, you throw it at a Mechanical Boss, and it does big damage. So, that'll be interesting to see how long they hold on to. And there's Ice Shields for sale as well, so...
Very nice.
2 different elemental shields at least here, so that's something that I would definitely drop my money on right away early on in the seed.
I would definitely at least consider it. It is, I didn't see the price. Normally it's about 30K, and I'm assuming
42.
that it's going to be 42. Okay, yeah, so a little pricey. I think that our runners can afford to buy 1, maybe 2. I did see a bunch of elixirs get picked up, and especially if they sell that offering, which is an interesting choice to make at this juncture, certainly possible. But both of our runners also finding that wall ring there. Now, what Poltergeist likes to do is cast Stop on one of your party members at the start of the fight. So, in theory, that wall ring would allow our runners to reflect that stop back onto Poltergeist to make it a little bit more of a free fight. But we'll see if that actually happens. 19 Battle Curse Shield. Don't think it's going to be the Curse of Ishwants.
Yeah, I think 15 is my limit for these flag sets, and 19 is just way too much.
Yeah, even with the ribbon, I wouldn't do it.
Even with the ribbon and the possibility of Ultima, and that is a disgusting weapon shop. Take both those items back, old man. Make them something else for me, please.
Yeah, choosing the marble shoes there, and honestly, you can go either way. The marble shoes, you can use them early on. They're actually not a bad piece of equipment. The Mega Elixir is going to be useful at the end of the game, so both of them are fine. You would really like to see an AXP egg there, though.
Yeah. Something else. Anything else, please.
Yeah.
So it looks like Skarcerer is going to dig in this box here. Going to see what is in the monster in the box, which is interesting because we already have an offering, but there are some enemies that do give XP that are relatively easy in the monster in a box, and this is not one of them. However,
it is free.
It is free. And, you know, we were talking about how can we afford those ice shields. Selling the Tiger Fangs that this enemy drops can definitely go a long way towards that. It's also Sabin's best naturally equipped weapon, so we could potentially see Sabin actually using it. It's a decent stat stick for what it is as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, especially at the start, offering with the claw, it's not the best DPS, but it'll get you through most of the fights, so yeah, I don't hate it. He's parked outside of the Coliseum now. Gonna go ahead and see if he can do one of these checks, but gonna go get some random encounters first. I really like this. I do not like this encounter. It is not EXP dense at all, but it'll get him up to like 4, maybe 5.
Yeah, the problem here is that, as I mentioned earlier, the level scaling of enemies is based on your checks, but the rewards that they give you, so the XP and the GP, is based on your character's Espers and Dragons. So with dead checks, you actually make your enemies harder, and they don't reward you any better. So it's kind of a worst of both worlds, if you will.
Yeah, so you're going to take another encounter here. I'd be surprised if he tried to do any more here. These enemies are just, they're not great for much of anything. So he'll get to level 5. This should be good enough to take out a fair number of enemies in the Coliseum, as long as he doesn't get unlucky and it's like, I don't know, Siegfried or something like that.
Yeah, Siegfried, not so funny, ha ha ha, in the Coliseum.
Ha ha ha.
Alright, so let's see what we got here. We have a Tortoise Shield, which is interesting. And a Pearl Lance. Oh, Super Ball.
Ooh, Super Ball. That's a very
Oh,
interesting...
okay.
Whoa!
Okay. Ding, 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 ding,
And
ding.
it's a Vulture.
I think we've found a winner here, Gar.
Yeah, you can say that again. Vulture, very, very easy enemy. Not deadly in the least. Saban is in the back row, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
There you go. Please enjoy your Illumina.
All right, so now we're gonna go back and buy as many Noise Blasters as we possibly can.
Did we see them for sale anywhere? That's one of the ones where I have no idea. Like, if
I think
they're for sale
we
anywhere.
did. I think we did.
Oh man. Well,
So the interesting thing about that Tortoise Shield is our runners did pick up an Imp Halberd, and the Tortoise Shield will teach us the Imp spell. So if we wanted to do Imp Dragoon strats, of which I am a huge fan of, we certainly could do it in the Coliseum. But I would much rather go get more Illuminas.
yeah, the Illuminas are a little better. However, the Imp jumping strats are the swaggiest of all the strats. So whoever does that first will win. Every single seed forever.
Yep. I approve of that strat. So
Locke able to equip that Pearl Lance, which is pretty nice. So if Skarcerer wanted to, you can make him a Dragoon.
Yeah, the problem is Locke is also his slots user right now, who is doing the most amount of damage. So it's one of those gotchas here. But we do have that Illumina, so Celeste is probably going to bring some beefy swings, and it is Welk.
Hey, how about a Pearl proc? This might actually kill it. Oh, maybe not. That was a little bit weaker than I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
But no worries. It is Welk should be no problem.
Unfortunate fight for FlyEaglesFly. Those magic urns do not give any XP. They do give MP though. So, if
yeah, fair amount of MP. So like not horrible. If you have Espers.
Yeah, so down goes Welk for Skarcerer here. So that's that first boss down of the seed, and we'll see what the reward is here. Hey!
Hi, Realm.
Realm with
Dancing
Dance. Nice.
Okay. 53 magic power on her too, which is very, very high.
Yeah.
So both Fire 3 and Merton are on the table for this flag set. So I think the hope here is that we find an Esper that teaches one or both relatively soon.
Yeah, I mean, Dance could be useful as well for clearing out those enemy mobs. We have not yet been to Imperial Camp. We have not yet been to Opera House Disruption. And we haven't been to Owser's Mansion. Those are all places that have forced encounters prior to the boss on them. So she can at least be useful in those scenarios for sure.
Yeah, and it'll be an easy way for our runners to gain some levels here. Speaking of levels, FlyEaglesFly, finding the Landworm. If you have Doom, you can instant death all of these worm type enemies. So like these guys, the Hoovers?
Yeah.
All of them vulnerable to Quarter, Demi, Instant Doom, X-Zone, all that stuff. So you find these and you have access to it.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Whenever bar comes up, it's always bad.
Yeah.
It's a 1 in 27 chance, but you know, like
sometimes the 1 in 27 is not all
don't do it again.
Unlikely.
Stop that. Stop this here. Okay, this is good.
Alexander. Yeah, okay, this is fine. And Skarcerer finding some wiry dragons. These are a very nice encounter. That should give him a good chunk of EXP here.
Alright, I don't think Skarcerer checked what the dances were for Realm. So might just pick one at random here, or might just decide, hey, I'm gonna wait until this fight's over to maybe get another one. Drinks Glue coming along with a party of 4. Thank you so much, Drinks Glue. Hope your Pouring Triad seed was not a terrible one, because I think you just did your race today. So
yeah, well, Glue's always got that dog in him, so I'm sure that he did wonderful.
Alright, so FlyEaglesFly, interestingly, getting some levels, but not checking out the Coliseum just yet. We know, chat, that in the Coliseum, there are Super Balls, there are Illuminas for Noise Blasters, What else is in there? There's a Pearl Lance in there as well, although we got that, I think, from the Dragoon set reward, right? So.
Right, yeah, so really that Illumina is the prize, and I think the longer that Skarcerer goes with that Illumina in tow, the more of an advantage that he's just going to accumulate.
Yeah, I wonder if he stops back in or if he is like, okay, I'm going to look at some item shops now to hopefully get some more noise blasters so I can use that Illumina more, because both Celeste and Locke can naturally equip it. Don't know if the others in the party can or cannot.
Yeah, finding Peepers here. Peepers are one of the worst encounters in the game. That 12 experience not going to go too terribly far. Would have loved to see Skarcerer actually duck underneath one of those chests and check out a random encounter there, but decides that he is happy with what is going on right now, and he's going to see what the boss is here momentarily.
Meanwhile, FlyEaglesFly at the top of the rafters here in the Opera House Disruption. So, gonna fight a few forced encounters that you can dodge.
Yep.
Why are Setzer's weapons always take so slow to actually attack and kill? There's darts, there's dice, there's cards, like...
Well, yeah, well, for the cards, you gotta spin around because swag, and then the dice, well, you gotta fix them somehow.
Yeah. I mean, how else are you supposed to damage anything when you're throwing a card? A piece of, you know, basically waxy plastic at somebody. You have to spin around first.
Exactly. I mean, we could go talk to Gambit, you know, from the X-Men universe, and see what he has to say.
I thought you were gonna make a Dave Mirror reference there for a second.
Oh no! You've unleashed the beast.
Speaking of the beast, Ultros number 3 over for Skarcerer there at the end of Bowser's Mansion. It was not a character painting that picture, so this is going to be hopefully something that Realm can learn. And
yeah, takes it down, no problem.
One more rat here. Hey,
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok the Esper. And we're going to see if there are some shiny stones available in the auction house. There are. That's some good information for later in case we're at 8 Espers or at 12, right? Because we get 13 Esper skip. And that is the 3rd time this seed that we have seen bar. And the 2nd time it's actually been useful.
Yeah, and like for people in chat, I don't think that bar is a guaranteed thing.
No.
It is RNG. So FlyEaglesFly getting the good luck, or at least not the bad luck. You know, not getting the Crusader.
Just mute on Ragnarok, otherwise a forgettable Esper there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not terribly useful. But Skarcerer are going to go into the mountain here. Going to get a peek at whatever the potential reward is. We see a ghost. So Esper or an item here.
Ghosty ghost. I wonder if he found warp stones. Because you can warp out of this check.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. And meanwhile, Ultra's won. So a little French vanilla here, I suppose.
And MC Hammer Pants for Skarcerer. So, well, 2 Ultrases and a Dataluma. Some pretty easy bosses so far, Gar. That makes me very afraid for the rest of this run.
I am very nervous right now because there are some really nasty bosses just lurking and waiting for their chance to strike.
Yeah, we know we're going to have to fight the 3 statues in the tower, shuffled, but there are lots of other bosses that are not fun.
100%. Okay, so let's see what the reward is for FlyEaglesFly here. Oh, that's actually huge for FlyEaglesFly.
I'm sorry, I forgot you can't hear the you can't hear the audio.
I sure can't.
Oh, and Realm throws a marsupial right at Dataluma for the win.
Oh, nice. Fantastic. That's a Sword Tech Edgar. Wow. What a terrific find for
That's-
FlyEaglesFly.
That's nice. Y Remove does not give us access to Cyan's Dream. It does give us access to one of his checks, Mount Zozo. So we can't necessarily get that Sword Tech upgrade just yet, but that's Berserk and Strength +1, and that is a cheap to Zen Thief. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll take that. Skarcerer does have one Warp Stone, so is able to just go ahead and warp out of there. We'll see where he goes next. It looks like he is heading for, what is that, Imperial Camp? So hopefully going to get some more levels here, as long as the encounters are kind to him. FlyEaglesFly, meanwhile, going to do a little bit of shopping here. Find some more Ice Rods, a Dragon Claw if you really want it, but otherwise, not too much to note here. I do really like that Sword Tech Edgar that he's got, though. Normally in these flag sets, you're able to get up to level 44 pretty easily. That's the level at which you learn Sword Tech 7.
Yep.
So even if you don't find Cyan, a decent chance that you wind up with some good in-game offense there. And you don't even need an Illumina to do the good damage with it.
Yeah, that's a great point. And it looks like FlyEaglesFly is immediately going to take Edgar to his checks in the same way that Skarcerer immediately went to Realm's checks first. But unfortunately, Realm did not lead to another character, so we're still looking for the path forward in the seed. And that is a pair of kicks as the heir to the throne, rather.
Yeah, unfortunately, Gucci shoes, not really what FlyEaglesFly wanted to see.
No. Edgar discount for being at the front of the party here in Figaro Castle. Always like to see that.
Dried meat, potentially very useful. Haven't seen hide nor hair of Gal yet, but he likes to pop up at the worst possible times. So, but I didn't see him actually buy any, so hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him later on. Cheap sleeping bags here, also great to see. These enemies on Skarcerer's side, unfortunately not very good, only 500 experience for the lot, but very fast to kill, so you know, you take what you can get, I guess. Norgan Dude in chat pointing out that he did buy some beef jerky already, so no problem there.
Second or third, I think, encounter here in Imperial Camp for Skarcerer. And it looks like FlyEaglesFly is going to join him.
Yep. So we'll see what Skarcerer winds up getting here. We'll also see if he goes and takes that monster in the box.
Speed +2 on that Esper from Zen Thief, so that's a good one to nab early on, because that will compound itself when you are at lower levels. And getting the Esper bonuses, obviously they turn into greater stats throughout the course of the run.
Yeah, especially because your jumpers are on the table, and speed is really, really good for the jump stat. So, could potentially have something really good cooking. And hey, how about some bugs? Everyone's favorite dog.
Don't you mean frog?
I had a friend of mine describe them as turtles, and I really just cannot see it. But a combination of slots offering the Sandlion, unfortunately, is going to whiff.
Yeah,
but she'll get through these bugs.
They have 100% evade, right? So it means that the weapons that are not Illuminas, which always hit, and stuff that doesn't, you know, ignore the evade property, like the offering. Potential to drop some Minervas definitely for Celeste.
And that would be really big if that happens. Unfortunately, it is a 1 in 8 chance per pug to actually drop the Minerva, so pretty unlikely that you wind up seeing any. Normally, you get 0 to 1, so. But you never know. Maybe you get lucky here.
And we know at least Celeste can naturally equip the Minerva, so it's not like we're going to get this for nothing, right? So
exactly. At the very least, you get 25 magic points for doing this, so Sabin learning Berserk there is quite nice, and unfortunately, no Minerva. Wah, wah.
Yep. That's the price you pay, and that's why some people will just skip that fight, because it is only the magic points and the chance at the Minerva, right? And since it's not guaranteed, do we even want to bother? Skarcerer here, coming out of the Imperial camp as FlyEaglesFly was going into it, so FlyEaglesFly will get his second Esper. Skarcerer, meanwhile, heading into the Phantom Forest for the Phantom Train, can pick up the reward in the caboose. I wonder if he resets out if this is not a character here.
I would really hope that he does. Picks up Torado. Torado is... it's okay. We'll see if it's got any cool stuff on it. Well, it's got some cool stuff on it.
Yeah, we're keeping that Esper, huh? Jeez.
Would be hard-pressed to give it up.
Another
yeah.
bar. I cannot believe that. I get that, like, once every, like, 20, 30 runs, maybe?
Yeah, exactly.
And he's gotten them multiple times in one, which is insane.
Hefe in chat asking, with standardized RPG, does that mean if Eagles does the fight, he won't get a Minerva either? And I don't think that's the case. I believe that for item drops, it'll roll the same, or it'll roll differently.
Mm-hmm.
But it will, like, for things like fixed encounters, both of our Minervas will always get the fixed encounters. It's just, like, what happens in those fixed encounters might be different. And then, hey, how about a Bahamut casting here?
Oh, watch out for those thrown weapons. Oh boy. Yeah. So the difference is with the encounters, they are generated at or they are determined at seed generation time. Basically, the encounters are scripted into their individual slots, and those slots are the same for both the runners, and the randomness doesn't get deviated based on your frame count or anything like that. Whereas the rest of the RNG depends on your frame count sort of thing, which is drops, and your damage rolls are even based on that. So even if you had two identical parties, right, with all the same gear and all the same stats, you'd get different damage rolls just because it's based on different numbers and stuff. And
exactly.
Math. Yay, math.
Love math. And speaking of math, thank you very much, Retrofoul TV, with the rate of 10. Welcome on and settle down. Enjoy yourselves. If Andrew Rocha were here, he would say to go grab a nice, crisp LaCroix. But since he's not here, I will not tell you that. All right. We'll see what the Choo Choo Train has in store for us. This should be fine. That pearl went on the exact right target, so Locke should live that. Thank you very much, Shell.
Yeah, that force shield basically reduces your incoming magic attacks by 33%, so does a lot less damage. Excuse me.
Yeah, just a Mega Elixir there for Eagles. And so off he goes into the wild blue yonder. Looks like this is a Coliseum dive.
Okay, so this is definitely Coliseum. We'll see what type of goodies that he has. Remember, in this flag set, between 100 and 120 items show up in the Coliseum there, essentially. So we'll see what items show up for FlyEaglesFly. We do know that there are Illuminas for Noise Blasters, so we'll see if he spots that as well. It doesn't look like it, but there's a Ragnarok for a drill. What's with the big swords for the tools?
Yeah, okay, so what happened, though, to that Noise Blaster? Did Eagles just not pick it up, I wonder?
Yeah, chat was saying before that it was a shop item purchase. And I usually buy a Noise Blaster whenever I see one. They're cheap enough. And if I find a tools user, that's basically a get out of Katana Soul free, you know?
Yep.
So.
Absolutely. Okay, so Eagle's not going to find the Illuminate, at least not yet. But Rags, I heard that they're pretty good.
Yeah, they are another 255 battle power sword and has a chance to proc the flare spell when... no, not W-Wind. Come on, Sabin. What are you doing here?
If it hits the Pluto armor... Oh, and it missed Sabin. Let's go!
That is a wrinkled brain play right there.
Big strats, but has to dodge the shrapnel and does not. That's unfortunate. The one time where Whirlwind was actually like a help.
So Sabin can dodge a tornado, but not a propeller. Got it.
Do not put him on your dodgeball team.
No.
Alright, so Skarcerer gonna take a leap off of Baron Falls here, gonna get his Mega Elixir. Actually gonna get an Elixir too. I believe the boss here was Tunnel Armor.
Yeah. An
So-
easy. Again, another easy boss. Dullahan is the most difficult one we've seen thus far.
And this Dark Force potentially a problem. Especially if this hits. This is not very good.
Yeah, it can do a lot of nasty things. If Dark Force does revenge, then that's GG. This fight's over.
Okay, so should get through it. Oh, well, nope, never mind.
Why you spoken? Sabin is a beast at dodging this, though. I must say, Sabin.
Oh!
Sabin, the suplexer of trains, the dodger of tornadoes. Oh, is he gonna do it again?
He might do. Oh, he's casting Shell again. Okay.
He's casting Shell even though he already has it.
Yeah. So yeah, as soon as that.
X Magic.
Oh.
Oh, the Coliseum, the gift that keeps on giving. Sabin, stop that.
Oh. Yeah. Unfortunately, Sabin is just not cooperating with him.
Well, this is why, you mentioned going to the Coliseum early on. This is why you go to the Coliseum early. You get some levels, but you don't learn any of these stupid spells that completely waste your time in the Coliseum there. So
Yeah. Okay,
all right,
so that
I
was
gotta step out for a moment or two, so I will be back in just a second.
Good luck to you.
Thanks.
All right, so Eagle's gonna opt to put the Ragnarok on lock there. Seems like a good play to me. You want your Sword Techer to be Sword Teching. Skarcerer is still, I would say, definitely still in the lead as far as progression goes. He's up 2 Espers, but Eagles is up basically an Edgar over a Realm. However, that may not matter. Now up 3 Espers, finds the cheap Kieran there. And Gogo, the strong lad that he is, holding up the house. So let's see if Skarcerer opens up any of these Monster in a Boxes. Looks like he's avoiding that top one for now. Might get it on the way back out. Okay, looks like no monsters in a box. He is happy with what he has got. Just gonna walk through the entirety of the house. FlyEaglesFly, meanwhile, finding the Suriander Pandora Parasite encounter. Suriander's a little bit rude. They like to sneeze you out of the party. Fortunately, doesn't happen here for Eagles. No big deal there. So Scar, gonna get a Go-Go. We'll see if he does any kind of Warpstone hunt to go and take care of whatever's in the Zone Eater belly. Usually in Worlds Collide, it's a very deep character tree and not a very wide character tree. So the most recent character that you find, you will usually find characters at their checks. Obviously, it doesn't work all the time. You saw that Skarcerer got that that realm earlier, and that realm did not lead to any characters, but that Go-Go might very well do that. So we'll see if he picks up any warp stones, or if he just opts to go and do that just in general.
Yeah, so that's interesting that we do find Go-Go there. Maybe Go-Go is the way forward through the seed, because otherwise, right, we haven't seen any other paths. I know that Sabin and Celeste both have a lot of checks, but there's only Magitech Factory 3, Mount Colts, and Phoenix Cave left, I think, for characters.
Well, FlyEaglesFly also has the option of doing South Figaro, or excuse me, Figaro Castle Basement.
Yeah.
Which I guess, actually, Skarcerer has access to that too, if he wants to Lyra move into there, but there is no compelling reason, I would say, for him to do this right now. Does find the warp stones in the Vector Weapon Shop of all places.
Yeah, that's not the first place I would check for warp stones, but hey, let's take it while we can.
And sometimes you gotta do what you've gotta yabba dabba do! So, doing the Magitech Factory play, and I like this just because if there is a character at the end of this, you don't want to be stuck with this as your last check. And hey, how about a hero ring in that pot? It's not bad.
Yeah, that is not bad. I am definitely very guilty of saving Magitech till the end because of the two checks and you're out mentality. But yeah, you're right. If this is the way through the seed, then that's brutal.
At the very worst, Skarcerer comes out of this with one more piece of progression. It is possible for these first two checks to be nothing but items, which I like at this point, unless those items are EXP eggs, we're probably not interested.
All right,
but
so
down goes Welk for Eagles. Gonna get his realm, so now has character parity. But we know that if he chases realm checks, he is not going to find a whole lot.
yeah, interestingly, deciding to keep realm on the bench for now. We'll see if that was just to get out of the menu quickly, or if that's going to be a permanent thing. Because I don't think he has that same Fire and Merton Esper, right? Because he didn't go through Phantom Train yet.
Correct.
Yeah, so Scotty doesn't know, if you will.
So don't tell Scotty. Meanwhile, we have some fish in the factory. I have no idea how they managed to survive this long on the factory floor. I'm pretty sure that piranhas they need water.
Well, I mean, you've seen the broken tanks in the other room, right?
Are we flooded out? Is that what's going on?
It must be.
Oh, jeez.
Ooh, little heel rod strat.
Yo, Scar with the heel rod strats. You love to see it. I think that was a hit that took out Sabin there. So hit is like a damage multiplier that the fish do, and because of the scaling, it very, very quickly winds up that you just do a bunch of damage. I think this wombat misses. I think the Rizapos is actually floating. Oh, way to make me a liar.
There's no such thing as a floating fish. Come on now. There's only floating chariots.
I forgot that the floating fish would be unrealistic.
Yeah, right? Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, FlyEaglesFly finding his own pair of parachute pants. MC Hammer can't touch this. Economizer.
Nah.
For Realm, that is an interesting choice. For anybody else, probably not so much.
Yeah. Well, Realm has been putting in some work with that dance, as I mentioned. I thought it was going to be more for AoE stuff, but Wombat is definitely helping out a lot. One of the things that jumps out of you when you look at the dance menu is those sort of non-elemental defense ignoring attacks like Landslide, Wombat, Wump. So good on Skarcerer for getting that out.
Yeah, 100%.
And I see you're a fan.
I love Wombat. I don't know why. I just do. How about another free boss? Man, this makes me really nervous for Scar here because, like, if it's anything like my seeds, it's gonna be like a Magic Master at the end of this, and
We're fine.
like
we got Berserk.
We do have Berserk. My gosh.
Unfortunately, Wombat will not hit Narapa. Narapa is actually flying. We're going to see a big fat old miss here.
Yep.
I know it doesn't really look like it, but maybe it's the one leg raised in the air, you know? I don't know. I've stopped trying to figure out the sprites of Final Fantasy VI a long time ago.
Final Fantasy logic is just, it's going to be Final Fantasy logic.
God.
Econ Gem Box, yeah, this is kind of what we didn't want to see. So unfortunately, not terrific. Skarcerer opting to equip Gem Box Econ on Celeste.
Yeah, I think Celeste knows Fire 3 now.
Yeah, Celeste has that Fire 3.
That Illumina over to Locke. Or not.
Or Terrell.
or not.
Amazing.
That's fine. Realm is sort of a do-it-all sort of character in Worlds Collide, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really hate it. I do kind of wish that Scar would move that Torado over to her so that she can pick up Fire 3. That would get her a little bit more online. But, you know...
You said, what, 53 magic power?
53 magic power.
And that's before any magic power boosting stuff, too.
Right.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, earrings, I believe, are on the table, so... yeah, missing out, I think, on some damage there. But again, Illumina. Oh!
What is this?
Hello.
Where's my noise blaster? Oh man. Maybe Skarcerer can hope for a bar stray.
That would be nice. I think he just got a.
Oh, is he gonna do the Magicite? That would be even more ridiculous. Yeah, I don't hate running away from this because we already have an offering, right? Didn't we get one somewhere?
Yeah. I think we found one in a pot somewhere, so don't need the case hole. It is a lot of money, if nothing else.
We don't really need that smoke though.
Yeah, nah. But instead, we get to fight the ugliest monsters in the game, the still lifes.
So. What is that on the right-hand side? Is that still life, like, snorting something? Like, is that supposed to be smoke? What is that?
I don't know. It's like some weird Alice in Wonderland type stuff, and I like it's big green lips. I just don't like looking at it.
And the little craters on the top of the head.
Yeah, I like.
Isn't there like a phobia of like things with a lot of little holes in it? It's like tryptophobia or something. It starts with a T.
It's something like that. Yeah. I'll
go
and look it up later.
Yeah, don't Google it.
But don't do that if you actually have that.
Don't. Even if you don't, just don't Google it.
Eagle showing off a great application of Y remove going into Mount Zozo here. Presumably going to take on the dragon and going to get whatever's at the end of the Zozo check here. Who is writing letters to the lady in Miranda?
And the 4 dragons that are on the tracker, they're not actually required, but those are, if you do get to 4, you get auto haste and auto safe. So that's why those 4 dragons are on there. That's not required for Kefka Unlock. That's more of us just to keep track of what the magic number is for this seed. And hey, I think we have found all of the Ultroses this seed so far, haven't we?
I think this is it.
Or did we not find 2? I know we found 1 and 3.
We found 1 and 3. I thought we found 2. Maybe not.
Alright, so let's see what's at the end of Mount Zozo. This is not guaranteed to be a character because of the out-of-logicness of it, but hey, we'll take a shiny stone. The
shiny stone is pretty big here for Eagles, and part of that is because of those first 2 dead checks that were in the Magitech factory. So again, here, like after he does not this boss but the next boss, he will actually have a piece of progression. Now, it's not guaranteed to be a character, but it could be a character or an Esper. So Skarcerer maintaining the lead here, but it is shrinking a little bit.
Yeah, so question for you, Gar, with Y removed, do you tend to try to stay in logic so you know where your characters are? Or at this point where your checks are kind of bad, where they're Phoenix Cave or Magitech Factory or Zone Eater, do you say, hey, let me Y remove and maybe I'll get lucky here and get a character at a much shorter check? Or do you tend to stay more in logic because you know that a character has to be somewhere?
It kind of depends. I do really like, in basically all circumstances, Y removing into Mount Zozo because it's pretty quick. There's some chests up there if you want to grab them. There's this dragon that Eagles is about to get. And overall, it's just pleasant. It's just a nice check to do. For other situations, like if I need Espers, for example, and I don't have Celeste, I might Y remove into Magitech Factory, do the first 2, and then see what's going on there. So Eagles, unfortunately, running into Big Beefy Bolt Dragon, and Big Beefy Bolt Dragon bolted the party down. So it takes the reset, gonna try again. And Skarcerer,
I think
gets
he just
a freebie.
Yeah, he just rolled pretty unluckily, and he's rolled unluckily again here with the Bolt 3. Ooh, 6 HP on that Edgar.
And the Edgar lives this time, so, it does make a difference.
And with Fire 3, Tritalk not going to be a problem at the end of the Magitech Factory.
Yep, so it was an Esper at the end of Magitech Factory.
Yeah, so that puts Skarcerer at 6 now.
And there's Merton for Celeste. That's potentially pretty big as long as we can get the elemental protection required to safeguard your party from it.
Yeah, so those Minervas would have been nice, huh?
Just a little bit.
We do have the Rage Ring that you mentioned, though, that will allow us to heal on a Merton because it absorbs fire. But I think that's pretty much it. Nice runic play there from FlyEaglesFly, knowing that some of his characters are low on HP, and Gold Dragon basically just does bolt magic. So, not often you get to see runic in action, but there you go.
Yeah, so sometimes it can be a lifesaver. The Gold Dragon 2 is also vulnerable to Berserk, so if you have the Berserk spell, you cast it on him, you make him more or less a free dragon.
Ooh, it doesn't go through. It does go through runic though.
Yeah, a little unfortunate.
All right, so Mount Colts is where we're going for Skarcerer here, and I think that'll be the last of our Sabin checks.
Yep, this is the last one that he's got on the table for Sabin. So, Skarcerer doesn't really have a lot of options left as far as characters go. He can go out of logic, like Eagles did, and go up Mount Zozo, but we know that that's not going to be a character. So I think he's really hoping for something here, but I'm not convinced. I think it's going to be an Esper. I think that character progression is going to be behind that Go-Go he found earlier.
Or it could not be, and it could be behind Edgar, right? Because we do have Edgar. And you can Y remove to get into Edgar's stuff. That is one of the sets of checks that you can go to.
Yep. Skarcerer finds Fun Robert. Shouldn't have too much trouble with this fight.
I've never heard that before. That's great.
Somebody called it that one time, and I don't know, it just stuck with me. Blue has a question for me. Oh my goodness.
Oh, there you go.
If I can match these two outstanding runners to an amazing cheeseburger to describe them, which cheeseburgers do you pick? Ooh. Okay. So Skarcerer, gonna roll out the controversy here. I'm gonna say that Skarcerer is a nice Five Guys double cheeseburger with some bacon on the top.
You gotta order your burger all the way at Five Guys. That's how you gotta do it. You get,
oh yeah.
You get all the good stuff on it.
and Eagles. Eagles, I think, is a Whataburger patty melt. And if you've never had a Whataburger patty melt, oh my gosh. You are missing out. Like, I don't know what they do with that sauce, but it's good sauce.
You just turn into a New Yorker, like, all of a sudden.
Yeah, sorry. It's the sauce.
You making fun of my accent over there? My sauce?
Nah.
My coffee?
Nah, I love the
daughter?
coffee. Your daughter.
So that is an Esper there at Mount Colt, so we still don't know. It's either Phoenix Cave or Zone Eater from the information that we know. Skarcerer, thankfully, heading to Opera House and will get Edgar. Meanwhile, FlyEaglesFly, unfortunately, going to be two more dead checks and one Esper here. As far as checks that our runners have done, Skarcerer is at 14. FlyEaglesFly is not auto-tracking, so I have to count manually. You jerk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it looks like.
Okay, so Skarcerer has the Esper lead and also has the check lead, so pretty comfortable, I would say at this point. Might be a little bit nervous after that Magitech Factory, but Eagles also doing it, gonna run into the same issues, and Skarcerer finds Gold Bear and Primordite. Eagles already had this from earlier, but if you do find a Rager and you want to include him in the party, Gold Bear, not a bad one to go with. That is a 2.5 times damage multiplier. It is the second highest behind Stray Cat, so please keep that in mind. He's going to find his Factory Fish. I believe that this one was the Economizer, so... Scar with the Chocobop. I did not know that Chocobop actually hit flying enemies, and unless I am wrong about Chocobop or I'm wrong about those dragons being flying.
What enemies are they?
They were the Wyverns, yeah.
I don't think Chocobop hits flying things, but, you know, we could be wrong. Sorry, I was just trying to navigate Whataburger's website to see if there was a location near me, and their website's terrible, so I already don't like Whataburger.
Yeah.
0 out of 10, would not recommend.
Oh, no. So I think that Whataburger is based out of Texas. I live up here in Colorado. There's a couple of them that are reasonably close to me, so I go there every once in a while. Absolutely delicious burgers. I love them. And as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to go and get one tomorrow, so...
Yeah, so Chocobop hits everything, so it doesn't...
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that either. I always thought it missed flying stuff, but I guess not. I've seen them in New York, but not in my part of New York. I've seen them on Long Island, where I'm originally from, but not where I live now.
Gotcha. Okay. I didn't realize that they were that far north, but Hefe in chat pointing out that they are also in Chicago, so going all over the world.
There you go.
Skarcerer gets through that Ultros 1, no problem. Gonna pick up his Edgar. We'll see what he does here. He knows that those Noise Blasters trade for Illumina, so he may be tempted to take this Edgar and go and buy some more blasters and then go and trade them in.
Yo, Dr. Pepper Shake for a limited time? Oh, man. Alright, let's pay attention to the race here.
Well, how do you pay attention after Dr. Pepper Shake?
Yeah, no. Those are the magic words.
Yep, so taking Edgar over Locke. I don't hate it. Again,
Yeah, it's weird. maybe he's thinking about finally putting the Dragoon set to use?
Possibly. One of the great things about Edgar is that he can equip every spear naturally, so what I like to do if I start with Edgar or Mog is I tend to weight the Dragoon set from the Colosseum very heavily in that case, and I'll make it a point to go and get it as soon as possible. So Scar going to be the first one to go into World of Ruin South Figaro Cave. This check here is not a character, may well be an Esper, so hopefully he goes down into the ancient castle, and hopefully he sees a character there.
Yeah, so no character to start, which is concerning, but if you're a Skarcerer, right, what are your other options? We have Kefka Narsh, we have Zone Eater, we have Phoenix Cave, and we have Edgar's stuff, right? That's all he's got left.
Exactly. So, I would be very surprised if Skarcerer, like, because you can, what you can do is you can do this check, and then once the castle comes out of the ground, you can just leave. I would be very surprised if Scar actually does that. I think that he's going to go all the way here. I think he wants that dragon. I think that he's going to want to see what's at the ancient castle there. So here is KS for Eagles. We'll see if he has a better time at this.
Yeah, the other thing that could synergize pretty well is if you do Phoenix Cave, then you have the forced party reform afterwards, and you could do your Zone Eater check after that. Or, same thing goes for Kefka at Narsh, right? You have to reform your party again after Kefka at Narsh. So those are things I would opt to do before going into Zone Eater, but once you are at the castle in the World of Ruin, you're never going to be closer to the ancient castle than you are right then and there. So if you're not going to go there then you just are going to abandon it for the rest of the seed.
Yeah, 100%. Scar running into Ifrit, a little bit of an issue with this, just because Ifrit's weak to ice and nothing else. Has some pretty high defense there, only 800 damage from that Sword Tech 4.
Yep.
And only 53 from a Celeste kick, so...
Well, the thing is, we do not have any ice magic in this seed, but we do have fire magic, and that's what we were hoping for. If you hit Ifrit like 4 or 5 times, he will not give you a domestic abuse charge. He will, however, bring Shiva out to face you. So we do have a Shiva sighting, which is not normal. But she's going to go away pretty fast after a couple of fire magic, so that's it for and Shiva this time.
And I'm pretty sure that Scar actually knew that going in, so nice heads-up play there by Scar. Just, I think it is 5 hits on Ifrit to make him change forms. Just going ahead and getting that out of the way. And there's Fire 3 for Realm. You'll love to see it.
Ugh.
But just a Mega there. I don't hate it.
No, I do.
I like to have at least one.
I'm almost an hour into the seed. I'd like my Kefka unlock now, please.
Oh, okay. Versus an Esper, yeah, you would love to see an Esper there. But if you're gonna get a dead check, Mega's not the worst thing to find.
No.
Again, I think that Skarcerer,
another gem box or Marvel shoes or some other garbage.
Right, and I think Scar's actually, he's going to check the throne here. He's going to get, I think those were Marvel shoes that were reigning over Figaro. The King's slippers.
There you go. Yeah, so that's going to put Skarcerer at 17 checks now. So believe it or not, that 24 check skip is actually looking more and more appealing.
Yeah,
he still hasn't taken any dragons yet. Oh, and he's leaving.
Oh, he's leaving.
Interesting.
Oh, is he just going out to save?
He's going to save.
Okay,
he's going to walk all the way down. And if it's not a character, then reset, because there's no reason to walk all the way back. Okay. I'm cool with this.
Okay, yeah, I'm tracking. So, Skarcerer, for those in the chat who did not know, originally came from the Free Enterprise community, so that's the Final Fantasy IV randomizer. Extremely knowledgeable in that one. So you see him save out there. He's setting up basically a save scum. Now, the save scums in 4 are a lot more effective than they are in 6 because it takes you, 2 seconds or so to get back into 4, and a lot longer than that to come back into 6. Still, gonna save him some time if whatever's down here isn't a character. I assume that he would also take an Esper, but we'll see.
Yeah, I would imagine like you're gonna take the dragon here anyway. I don't. Although if you don't think you're gonna get up to 4, right?
It may be a skip play though to take the dragon.
Yeah.
He's at 18 checks now. Is that right?
17 will be 18, potentially 19, depending upon what we find down here. And this could be our character progression through the seed at this spot. It is not, though.
It is not, so we'll see if it is progression in general. Looks like it is.
It's a pretty good Esper, too.
Okay, and hey, how about a vanilla blue dragon?
Starting out with El Nino, which is Spanish for the Nino.
Everyone loves the Nino. So yeah, definitely taking this dragon. Scar still needs some levels in order to get that Sword Tech 7 online. Edgar not quite at 44 yet, but we do see an instance of Sword Tech 5 coming out. It is more or less an elixir on a stick. That's not quite how it works, but for all intents and purposes, that is what's going on there.
Meanwhile,
So,
go ahead.
oh no, I'm just gonna say, it looks like that character progression, that Zone Eater is looking mighty fine right about now.
Yeah, I personally, I would go to Phoenix Cave first, just because you want to go get the dragon too, and be synergizing with reducing your party down anyway, and there is an experience egg, so that is the relic we were all hoping for with our dead checks.
Yep,
Finally got one.
Yeah, that is basically guaranteed to give Edgar his Sword Tech 7, so that is going to be a big DPS increase for Skarcerer once he gets that. Does have to walk this out, but I don't reckon that he feels too terrible about it. Unfortunately, at 1 hour and 3 minutes, yeah, like you said earlier, Schwantz, I think at that point you're looking to just go ahead and get out of the seed.
The Warring Triads...
Start thinking about Kefka's Tower.
Yeah, the Warring Triad seeds are definitely longer than those in our more standard race settings, so I don't hate the fact that he did that, because at the same time, these seeds are going to be a bit longer, so even though 1 hour feels like, hey, I should be done by now, or I should be into the tower by now, remember to adjust our expectations based on the flag set. And interesting thing, you don't actually have to wait for the castle to come back. You could Y remove out the door there, and the only issue is that
you can never come back.
Yeah, but why would you?
Absolutely. And on Eagle's side, you can kind of see the huge difference that having Fire 3 made, because Scar was able to just knock over this Tritalk very, very quickly. And meanwhile, Eagles doing Sword Tech 4, and unfortunately that's not really going to work out very well for him because Sword Tech 4 does not ignore defense.
Yeah, that's correct. It's only Sword Tech 1 that ignores defense, along with 7, but he does not have 7 at the moment, so... Finally getting through it, though.
Yeah, took him a little bit, but he got there, no problem. And Scar, doing your play, Schwantz, going into Phoenix Cave. He did load up that party number 2, so gonna take on this dragon. We'll see what it is. We're hoping, I think, for the Ice Dragon, given his offensive setup.
For sure. We already saw the gold dragon, so that Berserk would have been helpful there. I don't think there's any other dragons that are susceptible to Berserk, correct?
I believe you're right. I think that the Bolt Dragon is the only one, the Gold Dragon rather.
And I'm pretty sure we've got mute somewhere, so maybe a white dragon might be nice to find in here.
Yeah, I think you were right. White Dragon wouldn't be too bad. I think basically we just don't want to see the Fire Dragon. The Red Dragon would be it's still doable. You've got an Illumina, you've got Sortek, probably 4. Sortek 4 would be okay. But it would just be a little bit of a slog, and we're not really looking for that. So we'll see if Scar takes advantage of the save glitch here. So if you don't know, you can put one party on a save point and then switch to the other party, and as long as you don't move, you can save and use tents or sleeping bags and all that good stuff. So very, very handy, potentially, especially in this part where, because you're just walking over the spikes, your whole party's down to 1 HP. Provides a nice, safe way to both save your game and restore everybody's health. So now, what I don't know is if Scar ever picked up any sleeping bags or tents.
I think he did. I know he picked up a stack of potions, so I'm pretty sure he picked up some sleeping bags as well. Yeah, here's the. I always put my party that I'm going to fight the dragon in party 1 slot, so
yeah,
it's a bit more messy this way, but that's fine.
Yeah, Scar didn't save either, so
confidence level is high.
Again, I think as long as it's not like the dirt dragon, which would be just miserable because it does so much damage. As long as it's not that, we might be okay. Vanilla red dragon, okay. Starting out with Burton.
Oof.
You know, that did not end as badly as I thought it was going to.
Well, I thought one of his characters was wearing a rage ring, but I guess not. So, Red Dragon is susceptible to being muddled. So, you can use Stray or Muddle or Noise Blaster here, and then use just magic attacks, but I don't think we have that in our tool set.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but Pearl Proc will work.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Oh.
8? He had 8 HP!
When Empower gives you more MP than HP, let's go.
That is amazing.
Yeah, so Pearl is one of those spells, as we see FlyEaglesFly casting it there, that's really good in the Warring Triads flag sets, because it is equivalent to a tier 3 elemental spell in terms of its magic power, and most things are either weak to it or, you know, are neutral against it. There's only a few bosses that absorb it, but those few bosses that do absorb it are pretty beefy, and there is Shadow for our 7th character.
What a fantastic find. So I'm thinking that Scar here just goes, takes a look at Gal's dad, sees if it's an Esper, and then just goes. And by just goes, I mean, you know, does the Opera House Dragon, might do a dragon in the tower to get the auto safe, auto haste.
Yeah, so let's see. This is 21 checks. Who was that? That was so fast. I didn't see who that was.
That was the Yeti.
Oh. Okay. So all of a sudden, character skip is on the table.
Yeah. And Scar, I really like this play. This is a 3rd dragon for him. It gives you potentially your Esper right there at the Tritox spot, and you can always jump down and see what that what Umaro's reward is too.
Yeah, it looks like Skarcerer is going looking through his like logic here of how he's doing his checks. It looks like he's in the school of thought of, hey, I'm going to go immediately to the checks of the character I just recruited. So he's done that with all of the characters that he's gotten. As soon as he's gotten a new character, he's done their checks and sort of worked backwards, right? So this makes sense that
minus
he's
Go-Go, but
right, true.
I kind of get it, because if you get thrown off of that bridge by that bridge troll so many times, it is an extremely tilting experience. And so if you just want to avoid that, you just don't go there and you hope that your progression's elsewhere. And fortunately for Scar, it actually was. Here's the dirt boy himself. If you got sleep, you can put this lad to sleep before he does that.
Yeah, this is going to be bad. Oh. We have survived, but not by much.
Yeah, here you see just how powerful he is. Quake, more taking out about 80% of our character's health, and then Hone Tusk on the counter, just casually one-shotting that Edgar. The proc, though, from Realm, this might actually kill it. Oh, not quite. But these Fire 3s will.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing about X Magic is you can get countered in between your two casts, and luckily Celeste blocked the first one but could not block the second one. And let's hope that this is not the killing blow, and of course it is, because that's how Worlds Collide works, and only half this party gets the XP. Feels bad, man.
Yeah, I think you would much rather get through this experience than just oh, and yeah, Eagle's finding this fight later on, so the throws are they're gonna be disgusting here.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so gets rid of one dancer. He should be okay.
Yeah, because they'll only use that throw ability every other turn.
Yeah, and I don't think they throw skeins or anything like that, so they'll only ever kill one person at a time.
They do get progressively like beefier and beefier with the things that they do throw, though.
Yeah.
If you little desperation attack.
You love to see it.
Oh. But yeah, like if you let this fight go on too long, then enhancers will start coming your way, and you're like, all right, thanks, game. Like, can I pick this up off the ground and keep it?
Yeah, I would love one. So, Scar finding Rexol here at the top of Narsh. With this particular party get up, this might be pretty slow because you gotta wait for the Soul Saver to die and then come back. It takes like 6 years for that to happen. It's just a mess.
Yeah, in Worlds Collide, we don't have that zinger concept because in Kefka's Tower, that would mean that this enemy is kind of impossible to defeat if your real character, or not your meat shield, gets possessed, right? The problem with this fight, especially for this party, is we have Sabin using Offering, so you can't target the middle part. We have Edgar, who's got Sword Tech, which means you can't target. We have Celeste, who's been using X Magic and Fire spells, which this boss absorbs. And then Realm has that Illumina, and if that procs, it's going to heal the boss for more than you hurt it. But thankfully, we get through that okay.
Yeah, no muss. Well, a little muss, little fuss. Hey, how about an Esper?
There we go.
So that is unlock for Skarcerer there. Oh, I did not see what it was, though.
It's Golem.
Ooh, that's strong. And because multi-summon is enabled in this flag set, you can summon Golem as much as your MP allows.
And that was check number 24 for Skarcerer, so you know what that means. It's skip time, baby.
Yeah, so we'll see if he decides to just go for the skip right off the rip. I know that some some people, myself included, like to, if you've got a fairly weak party, you can take the you take your party up the middle, you do all of that, and then you use the skip to put your party in the wings.
Yeah, I think his party is a little weak in certain aspects. I mean, offering Tiger Fangs is terrible. And the X-Magic Economizer could be nice, but again, if we run into the wrong boss here, right? If that's Spicy Chicken up top, then we've got nothing for him. So, interesting. He's going right in, though, so we'll see what happens here.
Yeah. We don't really have a great way to deal with Poltergeist other than Swordtech 7. So, I would have really liked to see Scar just clear the middle there. Now, if he set his parties up right, just by happenstance, then more power to him.
All right. Well, this first boss here can be any of the bosses we haven't seen. And thankfully, it's not that bad, actually.
Yeah, so overall, this seed has been not bad. Not bad at all.
In terms of boss fights, yes. In terms of the seed logic, it's pretty terrible to have to go to
the seed logic was not great, yeah.
Opera House and Phoenix Cave, right?
Yeah. So... at least on that front, it's okay. Eagles is still he still needs 2 characters and 2 espers, and it's possible that he just last locations Phoenix Cave. It is not a very popular check.
Yeah, totally agree. Because we know that locks 2 checks don't, or locks 3 checks, right? They don't lead to characters at all.
Correct. Well, no, locks. Phoenix Cave does.
Yeah, but Edgar's checks do not.
Edgar's checks do not. No.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye, Osteosaur.
Yeah, so Phoenix Cave was the way through the seed, pretty much. His Realm's got nothing, Edgar's got nothing. We don't necessarily know about Go-Go, actually. And it's Doom here. So, Offering will be really nice, and Fire Magic for the first phase will be really nice. And then that Illumina for phase 2 will also be really nice. So, good party composition for this particular fight here, Gar.
Oh yeah, 100%. Getting lucky with Doom here. I thought Eagles was actually going to go into Phoenix Cave, which would have been the right call. But gonna see this Go-Go. We didn't see what was at Go-Go's check. So if Eagles if Eagles goes and gets that check and it's a character, he could be right on Skarcerer's heels here.
Yeah, so let's think about checks here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be 5 plus 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So by my count, this will be his 16th check here.
So not going to get the skip.
He's still a bit off of the skip.
But
he still has 2 more espers and 2 more characters. So at the very least, or 1 more character and 2 more espers, right? So at the very least, he's going to get to 20.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Oh no.
So Scar takes a wipe there. A little unfortunate, but you should be able to just go right back in there now that he knows that Tier 2 has the reflect status applied to him. He will not make that same mistake. He did get a little unlucky. He didn't get a block from that Illumina, and normally the Illumina likes to block a lot. It gives you 50 evade %.
That's correct. All right. FlyEaglesFly gonna take a peek at what Edgar is cooking down in his castle. It's pasta, but it's a different boss. We'll see if he resets out of here, because you can peek the reward before you decide to go all the way down.
I think if I'm in Eagle shoes, I would be surprised if he resets out of here. Yeah, because like you need that character. You're gonna hunt to the ends of the earth for it.
Yep.
He's got 3 mega elixirs.
Yeah, and Eagles' options right now are... This is probably the best one, other than Zone Eater.
Yeah.
But I know that a lot of people fade Zone Eater because of how annoying the guys on the bridge are.
Nice Pearl proc here for Scar. I don't think it's going to be enough to take it down, but... Oh no!
The force field.
The Pearl force field. Wow, saving Doom there. Nice heads-up play by Doom.
You love to see it.
Yeah. Much better go around that time. Takes him down. No muss, no fuss.
That's the Gar motto. No muss, no fuss. Alright, so now that we have seen Doom at the top, that leaves Poltergeist and Goddess for Skarcerer's other parties, and he forgot a Moogle Charm.
I'm just gonna warp stone out of this.
But thankfully not out of the tower.
Yeah, please do not warp stone out of the tower. I guess you could. Well, no, it would be kind of bad.
Yeah, that would be real bad. Because then you would have lost your skip. So you would have to fight Doom a third time. Or walk through the tower the long way.
So, what do we have as far as offense for our parties here? We know that Realm can use that Illumina, which, unfortunately, you will either get Love Token, or proc a Pearl on Goddess, and then just undo all the damage that you did.
Yep.
Or if it's Poltergeist you're up against.
Yeah.
Well, now you have to contend with Stop Blaster and.
The worst part is you see only 1,800 damage with that Illumina, and that's because of how high Poltergeist's defense is. Plus, he has the auto-safe status, which reduces your incoming physical damage by 33%. This Pearl proc will certainly help, though.
Yeah, Realms. Oh my gosh, look at that. So, unfortunately, this Wave Cannon counter is going to chunk her.
Yeah.
And she does not have any kind of elemental defense, so I'm gonna rely on elixirs, X potions.
Yeah,
things like that.
At this level, right, we're at level 50, because that is the maximum level in these flag sets. Poltergeist's HP is north of 40,000. So that attack plus Pearl proc combo, we have to see that at least 3 more times for that fight to be over. Which is asking a lot of Realm. So we'll see what Skarcerer decides to do. Probably going to equip Realm with that Thunder Shield at the very least. I think Sabin's got it on. And probably equip Go-Go too, so that Go-Go doesn't fall over immediately.
Looks like he's going to try Goddess first, and he shouldn't have a bad time with this. Edgar has Sortek. And even Sortek 4 does a lot of damage here because Goddess has basically no physical defense.
Yep.
Eagles, meanwhile, had a heck of a time with that Ifrit and Shiva fight, but got through it.
Well, this could be interesting. If Shadow can steal a Minerva and Realm can wear it, that would be huge.
That would be So hopefully the steal actually happens.
All right, let's see.
Nope. No love token though, so we're still in it. And then triple bar. Here we
Oh,
go.
boy. Oh.
Woof. I don't think that Ifrit was really the Esper that you wanted to see there.
No. Yeah, so that's one of the things about even if Skarcerer had that extra dragon, he would get auto safe, which is better against physical attacks, and Goddess doesn't really do a lot of them.
Right. Oh, there goes Wombat.
Hey.
Down goes Edgar again.
Yeah, so we just got to get Edgar up and get him a turn so that he can do Sword Tech 5 to heal himself up a bit.
Unfortunately, I think this Water Edge is going to kill everybody.
Yep.
So...
Yeah, that's the problem here. Is we need an answer to these bosses, and we don't really have one.
Yeah, and
I thought Sabin has a Thunder Shield.
There was a Thunder Shield in play. I think you're right. I think that Sabin does actually have it.
That would certainly help out against the Goddess fight for sure. Yeah, I don't think auto safe would help very much. I think auto haste definitely would, because it would allow you to get more turns, or in our case, allow you to heal potentially before the boss goes.
Yeah, autosave, it might matter a little bit versus Poltergeist because he has that Psych Rip ability, which is a really big hit. It's more relevant for Doom because basically all Doom does, especially in Phase 2, is monstrous physicals.
Yeah, so Skarcerer taking the offering route, because offering will bypass the bad stuff that happens from love token.
Unfortunately, only doing about 2,000 damage there with that with those Tiger Fangs. So, yeah, better off using that Quadra Slam.
Yeah, so
maybe.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. That was it.
So, question from the chat about Shrapnel. So, Shrapnel is a non-elemental damage ability, 120 battle power, 120 hit rate. So it's not the worst in terms of accuracy, but it's also not as accurate as most spells. And it does not ignore magic defense. It's just non-elemental and pretty high battle power. So that's why it does a lot of damage.
Eagles found the ice shield underground in the queen's room,
Oh,
the
wow.
princess's room. So very big find for him. Yeah, unfortunately, this goddess is just kind of giving Scar the business here. These clean sweeps. Yeah, gonna make it a little bit hard for Scar to recover. Goddess is very nasty.
Yeah, so Shrapnel is not a physical attack, it's a magical attack. But for reference, Fire 3 has 121 battle power, and Shrapnel's 120. So it's essentially a tier 3 elemental spell, but it doesn't have an element associated with it. So you can't block it with something like a Minerva or one of those shields or anything like that either. Alright, so FlyEaglesFly picking up the Esper, I believe.
Yeah, it does get his 8th Esper.
It's not on his tracker, but whatever, that's fine. I think he must have went and got it. There you go. That's what you need, is just to get Edgar up with enough time in order for him to get that Sword Tech 5. which is where, as we mentioned, the auto haste would come in handy. And I think that's why Skarcerer chose to use haste from lock on Edgar there. So that's a good heads-up play.
Yeah, definitely a good heads-up play. And Goddess doesn't have that much HP, but like you look at the spells that she's casting, it's just like awful thing after awful thing, and it's really hard to dig yourself out of that hole once you get in it. So, but Scar doing his best.
We're getting towards the end of it here, though, because you see Meteo is usually towards the end of her, or those higher spells are towards the end of her battle script than the beginning.
Okay, going for the Quadra Slam here, hoping that this is going to be it, and I don't think it is.
FlyEaglesFly taking down the dragon. Yeah, I think Skarcerer has to either, if there is no Thunder Shield, there is only Zool. He has to use the Force Shield on Edgar, right? Because the other users in that group, it doesn't really matter if they stay alive. It matters if Edgar stays alive.
Right. I think at this point, Scar's better off by just warping out and then trying something else. It is very, very rough to do these fights with the party that he has. Not impossible, but he's going to have to book it a little bit, I think. Does have those marble shoes. And puts on that wall ring.
That's a good call.
Yeah, so potentially able to set stop via Sword Tech 6, which Gogo has now. Or setting it via...
So much for that.
Yep. Well, as long as Poltergeist is nice with the counters, this might be fine. I might be tempted actually to just sit here and let him cast stop, even though there is no guarantee that that happens.
Yeah, so that's one of the interesting things, Gar, that you talked about, like knowing, and there it is. Very nice. Knowing when to say, okay, it's going to be faster for me to walk out of the tower and take this time loss than it would be to keep banging my head against this wall, right? That's always a tough call. And you would have two people from each one of your main parties against the statue boss, so it would definitely help out here versus just having the one against Poltergeist and then the one against Goddess. Alright, so we'll see if Poltergeist gets stopped again with Gogo. Ooh. Realm's gonna die here, and then Gogo probably is too.
Both of them go. Maybe Gogo lives because of that shell that he's got. And unfortunately, Stop did not get set there. So, yeah, this is rough.
Alright, so FlyEaglesFly is still looking for another character, I believe. Right? Because he hasn't gone to Phoenix Cave yet.
He hasn't gone to Phoenix Cave. He also hasn't investigated Zone Eater Belly.
Yeah, put that Rage Ring on.
The Rage Ring would be like such a tremendous help here.
Yeah, because that'll nullify the Wave Cannon, right? And that will absorb all the fire magic, including that S-Cross that just killed him before.
Yep.
That with the Wall Ring should do it. Poltergeist is just the bully.
Yeah. So we start out with a proc, which is fantastic. We need that to happen like 3 more times. But we would love to see Stop come out here from Poltergeist once again. Instead, it's just Shrapnel.
It's just Bully.
It's just Bully.
Alright, so that is an Esper from the auction house there for FlyEaglesFly. So he's just looking for a character now. One Esper in the auction house, it looks like.
And Pulte not wanting to cast that Stop. My goodness.
Is that Ultima on the Esper from the auction house? I saw it super quick. Hey, there's the Stop.
There's the Stop.
So now's the time. Let's get Go-Go back, Sword Tech 5, and then Realm can keep going. Unfortunately, with Auto Haste, that means Poltergeist is usually only stopped for about 2 to 3 turns, depending upon how fast or slow your party is.
Yeah, and he's not getting any more procs, which you really need those procs right about now, because at some point, Poltergeist is going to stop with his Stop. And he'll transition to casting, you know, your Meteos, your Goners, your Wombats. This Merton probably kills Realm. And then the Sasquatch kills Go-Go. Yeah. Just unrelenting. Like, this is what happens sometimes for these seeds, and it's just not a whole lot you can do about it, but keep at it or consider warping out. Would love to see him put that Rage Ring on. But he may not be aware of its properties, you know? So... Gonna try and set Stop here with Sword Tech 6. I think that this is appropriate. Unfortunately, just... it is not working. Question in the chat from Chadius. Does Skarcerer have Skip? He does have Skip. He has used it already. Like that's how he got up here so fast. And welcome on in, Magre. Party of 3. Please make yourselves at home. So we'll see what what he does here. He may opt to just warp out, or continue with some other kind of party formation. Does take off the Thunder Shield. That's going to help a lot. But looks like he is actually going to go back and do Goddess here. So with that Thunder Shield, his Edgar should be relatively safe.
Just got to watch out for those water edges, right? And, of course, the non-elemental garbage that Goddess will do at some point, inevitably.
Yeah. So question from AJS in chat. Does stamina or anything else increase the chance to land status ailments? The answer is no. What Stam does is it increases the value, like increases the ticks for regen, and decreases the ticks of things like poison. And hey, there's the Minerva.
Hey, very nice. So hopefully Realm can wear that for the Poltergeist fight, and that would be somewhat solved. But I think that Rage Ring certainly would help Realm, just putting it on for that fight.
That Rage Ring would be so incredibly huge for him, because it basically nullifies everything that he does, minus the Meteo or whatever it is that he casts.
So the other thing about stamina, going back to that other conversation, is for bosses, stamina also has a chance to block instant death or fractional damage sort of attacks. So it doesn't really come up all that often, but that's why sometimes, enemies that are susceptible to instant death won't die from a Doom attack. It's not just, the magic evade of that particular monster and the bad hit rate of the spell. It also could be that the stamina blocks that particular magical attack. So the wound status, if you call it a status, which is basically what happens when you're dead, is really the only one that can be prevented by stamina, if that sort of makes sense in a weird roundabout sort of way.
Yeah, and Falcon had pointing out that it actually increases the damage that poison does. So,
Right, it's weird. The less stamina, the better.
The TLDR is that stamina is more or less useless. It is not worth gearing for or trying to get a bonus for at all. So what Sword Tech 6 does is that it has a chance to set stop. The chance is around a third. So basically, you just gotta get lucky.
That's Stunner the weapon. Okay. The main portion of Stunner is unblockable, but the special effect will only try to inflict the status ailment 116 out of 256 times. So that's a little less than half. That is... Damn it. That's a minus sign, not a divide sign. This is why you don't do math on stream. Even with a calculator. 45%.
And down goes Goddess for Skarcerer. So very nicely done there. Does pick up the Minerva for his troubles. Please, God, save. And then Eagles making the right call here, going into Phoenix Cave. So gonna walk out with this Shadow. Gonna unlock Final Kefka. Well, if he has an easier time with these statues, he could potentially make up a ton of time.
Yeah, so we got one more fight to go, and that is Goddess here.
Poltergeist.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you're right. You're right.
I didn't see him save, though. And Realm, unfortunately, not able to equip the Minerva, so gonna have to make do with this Thunder Shield. Again, that Rage Ring that he's got, Realm can't equip it. And there's the save. Okay, good. Will be handy for Celeste.
Yeah, so talking about stamina and regen, so the amount of HP that you gain is proportional to the amount of stamina that you have, but also the amount of poison damage you take is basically the same formula. So you will gain more HP back from regen, but you also take more damage from poison. It's kind of weird like that.
And this Poltergeist is just such a bully.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, actually.
So, gonna try a flare here. Sword Tech 7 is online now for Scar. And that's actually really good damage there. So, possible that he sticks with that. That stop may have landed. That's one thing with Stunner that you can't know is that, like, if your stop landed or not. But I think it did. He hasn't countered anything, so...
Yeah, I would assume so. When you don't see Poltergeist countering stuff, you assume that it did land. So the reason why Flare is so effective against Poltergeist is because Poltergeist is very high both physical and magical defense, and Flare just ignores that. That's why it is doing much... Okay. See you later, Go-Go. It's doing much more damage than that Illumina, except when it procs.
Yeah, because this proc is going to do
enough?
about 9k.
No,
not quite.
No, he needs one more turn of that.
So hopefully gonna get it. Okay, get an elixir here for safety.
Yeah, you have two options at that point. Go for it, or heal back up and hope that you don't take that much damage.
Oh, that was a huge miss. Huge miss for Scar. So hopefully this flare does it. It might be close.
I think he's going to need one more, right? Because this would be like 35.
Okay.
36.
Well, he's not dead. Not yet.
This one might do it. Because this will be his 6th flare cast, and then the hit plus the pearl was another 10,000. So that should be 40. Oh, of course not.
Oh, no. But, okay, but he survives this because of the Thunder Shield.
And this too.
And that. So I think he's got it.
Very nice. Meanwhile, FlyEaglesFly getting the auto-safed and auto-haste from that Phoenix Cave Dragon and KT Skip unlocked. So, watch out, Skarcerer. You may have just taken down your bully, but another one is sneaking up from behind. FlyEaglesFly.
So Scar getting through it, very nicely done. Now nothing stands between him and the tiers. So, in these flag sets, normally those statues are colloquially the final boss, but the tiers, while I think they are generally easier, they are still not pushovers. Especially tier 2, if you don't have mute, magic will just run you over. So we'll see what happens here.
I think we do have mute though, from one of our espers.
I think so. I think that we are good to go. I would love to see you put on.
I don't know if we have instant death.
Did we not find like Doom or X Zone anywhere, or do we not have Odin?
Maybe we did. Oh, that's right, because we do have multi-summon, which is one of the options of this particular flag set. And I know that Skarcerer found Golem at Tritalk, but FlyEaglesFly definitely does not. So that is one advantage that Skarcerer has over FlyEaglesFly here. Besides the fact that he's already cleared out all the bosses in the tower, is he has Calmness Protection for Tier 3 as well.
Yeah, so I'll be interested to see what Eagles does here, because his offense is more or less the same as Scar's. So we'll see how he divvies up his party. And I didn't see if he was going for the skip right away. So switches there for Scar, about 148.10.
Again, a reminder, whoever wins this particular match will be in first place for our group here. Let's pull up the standings for a hot second. We're in Team Onslaught there, Group C. Ultima and GrandTrain are squaring off against each other, and this is the third matchup of the week, and each team has won once so far. So this is for all the marbles, as they say, Gar.
And there are a lot of marbles to get. So, Scar, first one to tiers. I do see break.
Yeah, that'll work on this tier.
I also see quarter, which, while it's not instant death, it hits the same things that instant death does.
Yeah, there's Doom.
Oh, and there is Doom. So, okay, so we do have that covered at least.
And FlyEaglesFly showing us that Ragnarok, the Esper, has mute. I don't know where the heck we got that, but...
Rag was... Ooh, where was that? I know that both runners have it.
Okay.
So, as long as...
somebody learned
it. As long as somebody learned it, yeah, then we should be good to go.
Yeah, so a lot of easy bosses in this seed, but the tower bosses prove to be more than worth their weight here for our runners so far.
Ragnarok. Oh yeah, Ragnarok may have been Alzur's Mansion. Yeah. So.
Okay.
I wonder if Skarcerer knows that multi-summon is on. So you can summon Golem here on the tiers, and it is a good idea because I think the Sabin is going to die if.
Well, let's hope there's no counter.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yep. So down goes Sabin. He's not doing all the damage, but I don't know if he had the Golem on it.
Yeah, so at this point, there's a decision, right? Do I reset and take my time loss? Or do I just say, you know what, Sabin wasn't doing all that much damage anyway. Let's try and roll through Kefka with a party of 3. And it looks like we're continuing on here.
Yeah, so Sabin did have Kirin, so not a huge loss. There's that mute, so gonna be able to do just fine here. There's the Doom. So yeah, respect the decision from Scar here. He's got to be feeling the pressure, right, after the wipes to the statues.
Yeah.
But he also knows that Eagles also hasn't put in that exclamation mark done. So, you know, he's got to race as though it's still live. So,
I think this game makes the tier transitions long enough on purpose for you to look at the race room and go, "Damn it, not done yet." That's what they were thinking way back when, right?
That's exactly it. They had the randomizer in mind back in 1993 when they made this game.
Alright, so we have 2 parts of Tier 2 neutralized. We mentioned Magic is susceptible to mute, so that's out of the way. And I think Tools has been doomed, so that's out of the way. And now we've just got to fight these other 2 parts, Tiger and Hit.
Yep, Tiger just ate a big pearl. Still not quite dead yet. There's that Flare Star, so we want to hope that Doom Tusk doesn't come out right after this. Unfortunately, that does take out Locke, but yeah, we don't care about Locke.
Yeah. Getting Go-Go in would be certainly actually much better than Locke, especially with access to Sword Tech 7.
Go-Go has access to Sword Tech 7. Go-Go can mimic shield breaks. Can also just throw out items, which is going to be his more likely use. Would love to see a Sword Tech 5 out of Edgar here. Oh, never mind. There's 10 hits, so
yeah. So we have just Magic left, and Magic is not going to do anything except for a possible quarter and dispel death counter. So we're not in danger of dying anymore on this tier, at least.
What's going to be rough is if the next tier opens up with Merton, because only the Thunder Shield person will survive.
Celeste is enough HP.
If quarter hits, sorry, I haven't qualified that.
Yep.
Because it's very possible that on his deathbed he casts quarter into well, just quarter even would just do it.
We did steal the Minerva. Did we put it on somebody?
That's true. I think Celeste does actually have that, so she lives too, regardless.
Oh, there you go. That's what Jesus just said.
As long as she doesn't also have the Thunder Shield equipped.
All right, so that's tier 2 done.
No quarter, so very very good for Scar here. On to tier 3.
Meanwhile, FlyEaglesFly does get past Doom, so that's one of the 3 down. And Locke is a single party member, so it looks like we got Celeste, Realm, and Go-Go for the Poltergeist spot, and we have 2 of our final party for the goddess spot on the left-hand side here for FlyEaglesFly.
Okay, W-Win coming out.
Well, and since Sabin is dead, that means all of our party's going to get hit by it. For those of you just joining us, I think, who is it? FlyEaglesFly is Sabin. Cast W-Wind in the Coliseum like 3 times and dodged it every single time, which is insane. Super funny.
So, gonna have to flare down this girl here. So we'll take a little bit of time, but shouldn't be an issue. I think also that Scar has like 2 more Mega Elixirs, so definitely not hurting for any kind of MP restoration. Would love to see him.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got to keep his health up though.
Oh, hang on. Who has the Golem? What if it was Celeste? She can't cast it.
Why, is she out of MP?
She has Gem Box.
Oh god, I forgot about that. One of the other downsides of the Gem Box relic.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion that Gem Box is generally a trap. You can make it work, but it is almost certainly not worth it. So I think it looks like the play here is just go. So good job to Realm. Ooh,
oh, no.
don't hit this one. Oh, very good. Oh no, but what is he doing, Scar?
Oh, very lucky to not get countered between those 2 casts of magic, but there is another counter.
Okay, so he had queued up this Sortex 7, so like he should be good here.
Yeah.
So now we'll see who dies because he didn't put up that Golem.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no.
So just Realm and just Celeste.
And Gogo, I assume, will probably be coming in off the bench as well here.
Yep.
Meanwhile, FlyEaglesFly also had to take a reset there to Poltergeist. So we'll see what he decides to do to reform his party. Did have that ice shield that you mentioned from one of the chests in one of the checks that he was doing. So threw that on Realm. That'll nullify the fire stuff that's coming out. But needs enough damage to get over that hump.
Yeah. I'm a little nervous for Scar here. It is possible that this fight just goes fine. He's got 2 Mega Elixirs. He's got plenty of Elixirs.
Yeah, needs to clear that status from Celeste using that gem box for sure.
And not weight tricking here, so gonna get the fallen one. But that should be fine. He's got
1
Oh,
Mega
he had 1 Mega. Okay. Hey, that's all you need.
However, he could also use Capture from Shadow to go pickpocket another one from Kefka. We'll see if that's what he decides to do here. Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, not bad at all. It looks like he's doing about 12k around with the Realm and Celeste. So, okay, that was rude.
All right, Shadow, come on. I want to see more Barham and Clyde, and less.
Yeah.
Rob this Mega Elixir, please.
Train coming out again. Needs to Echo Screen here. That is out of is out of remedies.
Oh boy. Illumina doesn't care about Dark, but Celeste certainly will.
Yeah, Celeste needs to do something. So good proc there.
Alright, let's see what we can do here.
Would love to see Scar break a shield.
Oh, FlyEaglesFly is using Landslide against Poltergeist. That is a good option. As well as Bio, which is actually the weakness for Spicy Chicken. And then might mimic the double cast.
Okay, so here's Goner. Queuing up the attack there. I don't like this. I really don't like that Sword Tech 5.
Well, Gogo's gonna die anyway.
Gogo's gonna die, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what's even worse about that is with Capture, you have to do the fight command first and then the steal afterwards, so that dark status makes that capture way harder to actually pull off here.
A nice proc. I think this does it.
No, there's no way. Wow, okay! Oh my goodness. I didn't think he did enough damage there.
Fantastic. Wow. A 201 right on the dot for Skarcerer.
20104 is the official time. Get your GGs in chat and tell him in his own chat. Here we go.
Very nicely done by Scar.
Yeah, I didn't think that was enough damage, but what do I know?
I knew he was close. So, like, honestly, if that proc didn't happen, he was risking the Ultima.
Alright, we'll see if we can get Skarcerer in for an interview. Meanwhile, we're going to watch FlyEaglesFly here with his Poltergeist fight. Missing with the W wind and the double bio here.
He is hanging in there. He's been doing the same fight for a while now.
Oh, there it is.
And yeah, as I say it, down he goes.
Nicely done. So that leaves just Goddess for FlyEaglesFly, am I correct?
I believe you are right. And we are also joined by none other than Skarcerer himself. Scar, GG's.
Thank you, GG. That was a rough seed.
Yeah. Talk to us a little bit. Tell us how you think it went.
I think I lucked out, and then I tried to play that luck to its fullest because I saw Noise Blaster was cheap, and then it traded for an Illumina in the Coliseum, and that was my power for the seed. And then I remembered I had Flare on Realm after way too long.
Did you ever consider going back and buying more Noise Blasters and getting more Illuminas?
I did, but I didn't know if I could, like, because I remembered where they were. They were in World of Ruin, South Figaro. But I didn't know if I could do it quickly and, like, you know, I didn't find a good spot in my route to do it. I didn't want to just go, like, back and, you know, I wanted to start getting the seed going with the offense I just found.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not to
and it
mention,
does kind
like,
of stink.
Coliseum AI gonna Coliseum AI too. We saw that on FlyEaglesFly's side of things for sure.
Oh no! What happened to him?
Just casting silly things instead of actually just hitting the thing in front of him.
Oh, did he go once he went late?
Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
Yeah. But yeah, so bit of a well, I would say a speed bump, but that was more like a roadblock, spike strips. Insert your metaphor here at the statues. Did it ever come across your mind? We were talking in the booth about when do we decide to warp out and come back in to fight with a different party or a different strategy. Did that ever cross your mind at all?
It did a couple times, and if the attempt where I started spamming Flare on Poltergeist hadn't worked, I would have pretty much had to.
Yeah, I think, you know, if you watch this run back, we'll certainly, you know, there's certainly things that we pointed out that were like, oh, this might have been a better idea. I think equipping that Rage Ring on Realm would have saved you so much headache in the Poltergeist fight, because it absorbs fire and nullifies lightning. So I think you would have been...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, there you go. Final Fantasy
Yeah.
VI Worlds Collide, everybody. You learn everything the hard way every single time.
All right, that's
And now you
sticky
know.
note worthy.
There you go. There you go.
I have a
FlyEaglesFly
pile of
just
sticky notes,
demolishing Goddess, so Poltergeist
good.
was the big problem for both of you guys in this seed so far. But yeah, so you thought about it.
In every seed.
You thought about it a little bit. Was it like, I'm gonna give this one more try, and it just so happened that that was the one that counted?
Yeah, it was okay. I've hit my head against the brick wall. I'm satisfied with how bloodied my head is from this brick wall. Give it one more shot with a different strategy, and then rock and roll with, and then just eat the time loss of having to walk through the tower.
Well, it worked out. And yeah, I personally, I mean, I'm biased because go team GrandTrain, but I'm glad that it worked out the way that it did.
Same, me too. This is my first. I've gone from 0-3 to 1-3.
Yeah, well, because of your victory, we are now the top of of Group Onslaught, and this is going to put Team Ultima tied with Team Medio, with both teams having a 2-2 record. So, still going to be very interesting to watch next week. So yeah.
So a bit more about this seed, Scar. There was 24 checks was the skip, and you happened to hit 24 checks, and I think Phoenix Cave was the way through the seed. I noticed your strategy was, as soon as I get a new character, go do their checks. Was that sort of on purpose, or did that just how it happened to be in this particular seed?
That was entirely on purpose, because if I go somewhere and my opponent doesn't decide to go there, then I should push that and see if it gets me further ahead. Sort of
100%.
like just an idea I've learned playing randomizers in general is to chase your key items, and in this, the characters are key items.
Yeah, especially because the characters are the one. Yes, you need Espers to unlock Final Kefka too, but the characters are the ones that open up the different parts of the game that allow you to get, you know, your particular rewards for sure. And any thoughts on? You got to 3 dragons. Were you going to get 4 and then saw, oh, I have KT skip. I don't have to go get that 4th dragon anymore?
Yeah, pretty much. That's about it. I realized I had KT skip, and it's like, this season's been going on a little long. It took me a while to get go mode.
Yeah.
It was over an hour to get go mode. It's like, let's make sure that we're not behind and just go on the skip.
Were you nervous at any point? Like, were you worried about Eagles just like being basically either ahead or maybe just like right behind you or anything like that?
From the moment from that first wipe against Goddess, from the first time I wiped in KT until I started Final Kefka, I was nervous he was going to finish at any second.
And that's what's kind of getting me too, is because there wasn't really a lack of offense in the seed, right? You found Fire 3. Unfortunately, you weren't able to get Merton online. I don't think Eagles was either. There just wasn't enough elemental protection there. But with those Illuminas, with Sword Tech 7, with the jump, with Fire 3, so you have plenty of offense. So yeah, I can definitely see you being worried that Eagles did all the same things that you did, and maybe made better use of it. But again, glad that didn't happen.
Did you get anything cool out of the Coliseum?
Actually, yes.
Did not get the Luminos, but did get Ragnarok, right?
Yeah, so
Nice.
it was power tools all the way, right? The Noise Blaster traded for Illumina, the Drill traded for a Ragnarok. So
Yeah, I think we also saw there's just a couple of other. I know there were Super Balls in there somewhere. Was that ever a thought that crossed your mind to get those, or did you just get the Coliseum
No.
for the whatchamacallit, the jumpy thing.
I did the Coliseum to see if I could snag like an Illumina or a Ragnarok or a Valiant Knife or an Atma weapon. And then if it wasn't one of those 4 things, it's kind of whatever. Because Super Bowls seem cool, but it also seems like it has the same drawback as throwing Magicite, as in it can do almost nothing.
Yeah.
Which is why it's way more useful earlier than later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So used to be that you could find Super Balls in like Ultras League seeds, and it very often turned into whoever could find them and buy like 5 or 6 of them first, usually won the seed. Because they're very, very powerful. They do kind of fall off late. But every once in a while, you pop a ball, you do 6,000 damage to a dragon, and then you're set for the rest of the seed.
Well, I'm glad that's not the case anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, otherwise, I've got nothing else for you. Once again, congratulations, bringing it home for Team GrandTrain. Schwantz, what else do you have for Scar here?
So, looking forward to next week a little bit, we'll be against Team Medio, and I believe you said, Gar, that they are going to be tied for second or in third, depending upon the margin of victory with the team that you just defeated, Team GrandTrain. Any thoughts about looking forward to next week's flag set with Goddess's Edict on the table? Do you like the Poltergeist flags better than Goddess, or do you think? Yeah, go ahead.
I think Poltergeist is my favorite of the 3, but I'm also very partial to the color red and to Merton strats, which this flag set tends to have in abundance.
That's
I'm
it.
not the
It's
biggest fan of
just red
Goddess,
and
though,
red
so
and Merton.
Yeah, red and Merton. Offerings are nice too, but
Yep.
I'm
Merton's
a
very
real
red,
big
so
real big fan of damaging spells that heal me. I wish Quake was a stronger spell, or I'd be going for Quake strats more too.
yeah, it's just really unfortunate that so many enemies that you wouldn't think float are actually floating. So
Yep. I did use Quake strategy in a recent flag set that I did, because I got Float and Quake on like my first 2 Espers, but then of course like every other fight it was like, well, can't use it on this boss, nope, can't use it on this boss, so it can get pretty frustrating. So, but yeah, that's my questions. Gar, you have anything else?
No, just oh, you said Gar, not Scar. Sorry.
Sorry. The Gar and Scar connection.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I've got nothing else. Scar, any final memes for us?
Well, GG's again to FlyEaglesFly. I hope he's able to get through the seed. This was a bit of a painful one. Thank you, and big thank you to you for putting on a restream.
Yeah,
it's always fun to be on restream.
Thanks for your patience with me running, a couple seconds behind, or it's more like a few minutes behind. Running a little late this evening, getting things going, but we got it up and running, and we are still going. Thank you so much as well for volunteering to be on stream. Can't have the races without the runners, and good luck in the rest of the season. Hope to see you in the knockout portion of Warring Triads.
All right. I'll see you there. Bye.
Catch
Take
you later.
care. Good night.
Alright, so we're up to tier 3 here, and FlyEaglesFly making huge usage of multi-summon here with casting Seraphim a bunch of times, which is like Cure 1.5. It's pretty bad. But if you use it multiple times, then it's okay. Yeah,
it's not bad.
Oh, this one's a little better. That one's like 2.5.
Starlet is that's what you want to go for with your magic power, but I don't think anybody on this team really has good Magpal. Maybe Celeste, but yeah.
Yep, so we know that there is no calmness protection here. So we'll see what FlyEaglesFly decides to do.
Maybe just opt to just face tank it. And the strat is hope that I block it.
Yeah, that's a great question, Green Monkey. What is Sabin doing?
It kind of looks like Maneater, but I can't tell.
Something with high battle power. And that was part of the annoyance with this seed, is you had 3 pretty good builds, but then what do you do? Nice block there with the Ragnarok.
Excellent.
Yeah, you had three good builds, right? What do you do with the 4th character? And maybe you could have swizzled things around so that Realm is your magic caster, but you also don't necessarily want to do that against the statue bosses either, right? Because, as you mentioned, Gar, yes, we still have to beat Final Kefka, but the statue bosses are probably the hardest part of these flag sets with the reduced party here.
Yeah, exactly. So, I would say that normally, if you have a 4th party member and they're just kind of hanging out, the worst case scenario is that you use them for weight tricking. But yeah, they're capable of chucking elixirs or ethers or whatever your party needs, right? So, and especially like if you get haste, like Eagles did, it makes that a lot more viable.
Alright, so here comes the Fallen One. We know we have... Oh, he's got 3 Mega Elixirs here. We did get, I think, 1 or 2 of them from dead checks, as well as looting 1 or 2 of them as well.
What I don't remember is if Eagles did World of Ruin, what is it, the weapon shop? I'm pretty sure that he did, but I don't remember what he took from that. Whether he took the marble shoes and the Mega Elixir.
Yeah, I mean, Locke somewhat tanks that hyperdrive, but hyperdrive also inflicts the sap or seizure status, so even if you tank the initial hit, it'll eventually catch up to you with the poison tick. We'll see if this is enough with Edgar coming down here.
Okay, not quite, but he shouldn't have that much more to go. I'd be happy to jump here. Yep, just go ahead and get back up in the air.
What did you say, David Lee Roth? Alright, so if Celeste doesn't kill Kefka, then definitely Edgar will coming on down. And 5150, more Van Halen. No, I'm just kidding. That was 5051. And that's it. FlyEaglesFly clocking in at 2:18:28. Get your GGs in the chat.
Very nicely done for Eagles as well.
So keeping that margin of victory pretty close there, because that is the tiebreaker after all. So taking a look at for this week there, that's 18 plus 9 is 27 minus 16. So that's 11 more minutes that Team Ultima has picked up over Team GrandTrain here. And we'll bring in FlyEaglesFly. GG's, congratulations on finishing that seed out. Talk to us a little bit about how you're doing and how that went for you.
Oh, this is like one of my worst ones I've done on Poltergeist. So, but so far in this whole tournament, like I'm 2-2 now, so it's like pretty neat to have it going forward. But this seed, it was just pain in the neck, and some of the checks I was doing, it was just like dead check after a dead check.
Yeah, having to go to Phoenix Cave for your required last character never feels great either.
No, it doesn't, and I I was thinking early game to go there right away, like just low level and just forget about the dragon. But then I was just like, let's just fade it.
Was there ever a point where you were considering doing Zone Eater over Phoenix Cave, or were you always on the whole Phoenix Cave train?
I tend to not try to do Zone Eater because every time I get trolled by those guys on the bridge, and it's like it takes me like 5 to 7 minutes to get through and just waiting for them to get by. So that's why I was just looking. I was like, all right, Phoenix Cave will be my last play.
That's fair, and as it turns out, it was at least a correct option. Neither you nor Scar wound up going into Zone Eater, so could have been a character there as well, but you made it through. Tell us a little bit about the statues. What was your plan going in?
I think that I had like Locke having a Ragnarok. I was like, hey, he can go straight down the middle with Shadow, because Shadow is the last character I got having high level. Figured Celeste could go over on the right side because she had the tier 3 magic and also had the opportunity of learning bio. So I was like, let's see if she can go over there and give her Go-Go and Realm just to have 3 characters there to kind of help out. And then all the time, like if I get them early, I always keep the brothers together and just have them take out whatever side I put them on. So just looking at it, my plan always is like doing the center right off the bat, just to take those 2 bosses out and getting that chance to save. And then a lot of times I go to the right side after that, and then just seeing it how it was Poltergeist, and like the first round it was just like, nope, didn't work, and just change a couple things around and having Realm just do her dance, and that landslide was coming in pretty handy with that.
Yeah, I really like the heads up play, knowing, you know, that you could lean on a dance move like that to do damage that ignores the really high defense of Poltergeist. That was a really good heads up play. And also, I think you utilized Runic a few times throughout your playthrough. So some really cool tech you were showing off throughout the run there.
Yeah, that's one thing that I like. If I get a Runic user, I tend to try to use them, especially on the Goddess Seed. If I get that way, then I can have someone at least just protect the party from like tier 3 magic on some bosses that cast it.
So, let's see. Next week, you are facing off against Cheddar Goblin in Goddess's Edict. Do you have any particular idea of what you want to go for that flag, or is it more like you kind of want to see it before you make any plans, sort of thing?
It's kind of like want to see it before making any plans, but like it depends on who like the starting characters are. I know like a lot of times with the Goddess, just like practicing with Condemned on my party, like I was practicing Ultras League with Condemned to learn the weight trick. It kind of got me used to doing the weight trick, so it's like just practicing with that kind of helped out with doing these Goddess Seeds. But depends on what I get as a starting character to keep going. I look forward to taking my revenge on Cheddar Goblin since I lost the first match by like 3 minutes, I believe.
Well, I think we're all looking forward to seeing it. There's a lot of really, really great matchups that are happening next week, and you versus Cheddar Goblin is certainly one of them. So I wish you the best of luck in that.
Thank you very much.
And also,
But,
thanks for volunteering to be featured on Restream. Can't have the shows without you people volunteering, so thanks so much for that as well. Appreciate it, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Or event.
You guys have yourself a nice night.
You too.
And
Catch
you too
later.
now. Take care.
All right, Gar. So that essentially is that for the Onslaught group. That puts team. Which team is it that's going in for the full GrandTrain? Yes, that's what I said.
GrandTrain, choo choo.
They will be in sole possession of first place going into week number 4. And that also means that we've got a huge battle next week for second place. Because remember, the first and second place teams of each group get into the bracket round or the knockout stage. So holding on to the top spot is great. And definitely puts your team GrandTrain at an advantage there with a 1-win lead over whomever will be in second place. So
Yep. As long as we can hold on to that, I will be happy. But if not, well, things happen. And I have had fun this event regardless. And we're still not done. 2 more weeks.
yeah, so that'll be really fun to keep watching as the teams keep on battling it out and fighting one another. We hope to bring you all some more races going into the future. But thank you so much, Gar, for stepping in and helping to do commentary with me. Really appreciate it. And you got any other final thoughts before we get out of here?
I just want to thank all of the wonderful viewers at home for watching this fantastic race. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you to the Schwantz27 for setting up the restream. It is always a pleasure. And yeah, that's all I've got. I hope that you all have a wonderful evening. We'll see you tomorrow. I do believe that we have another restream featuring Javinator and Golden Shocker.
Oh, yeah?
I think so. I might be wrong about that. If that doesn't happen, anyway.
That would be awesome if it did.
It would be. Yeah. So, in any event, we'll keep you posted. And yeah, that's all I've got.
All right, cool. Well, thank you again, Gar, and thanks everybody at home. And we'll catch you on the next one. See you later now. Peace out.
Night night.